Comedy is a foundation for genre as a whole, along with tragedy, but a subgenre which has perfectly blended the two and has become extremely popular in the modern day is the dark comedy.
Okay, relax. Okay, wait.
Dark comedy makes fun out of ordinarily taboo subjects. Take Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing, for example, where the laid-back humour is weaved in amongst confrontations dealing with racial discrimination. When comedy turns to tragedy in the culmination of the film, the audience is left numb. Or Borat, when the title character, played by Sacha Baron Cohen, is propelled into the American public to highlight the themes of prejudice, stereotyping and ignorance within America. Stanley Kubrick's Dr. Strangelove satirises the Cold War and arms race, a risky film to produce at the time. Andy Dameron states in an essay on how the film had an intense effect on audiences in 1964 and continues to be a relevant argument today. In this video essay, I will be exploring how dark comedies provide an effective medium to convey social and political issues to a contemporary audience. Do the Right Thing is a poignant social commentary centered around race set on the hottest day of the year. Spike Lee states how he wished to spark discussion, exchange of ideals, debate about race.
It's as plain as day. They didn't have to kill the boy.
At its heart, the film displays hatred as the least desirable method of dealing with disagreements. These disagreements primarily being race-related. But why is it so successful in sparking this discussion? Almost every significant interaction in the film unravels with a discussion itself, not too far from how an audience would debate the film's themes after a viewing. The characters themselves are aware of their prejudices and discuss them in multiple scenes. The truth lies in how these interactions have consequences later on in the film, akin to representing social issues in our world, as our speech can be vital in being kind to one another. Through Sal not featuring a black person on the wall of his pizzeria, tensions rise and culminate with a confrontation as Sal's closing up his diner. The film displays an array of love and hatred, but leaves it up to the audience to interpret what they feel is doing the right thing. As the mayor states during the climax of the film,
If we don't stop this and stop it now, we're gonna do something we're gonna regret for the rest of our lives.
Caster R.A. in Villaverde L.E. states how Cohen employs Buster Keaton's physical comedy and how he is able to seamlessly integrate the comedic styling of Buster Keaton and Jim Carrey. This farcical aspect creates layers of cringeworthy laughter throughout the film, cringeworthy due to the situations in which Cohen's Borat finds himself along his journey through America. It could be argued that Borat is the easiest film in this selection to overlook in terms of conveying issues to an audience, because of its farcical, exaggerated nature. Moreover, Carter R.A. and Villaverde L.E. comment how the bigger the joke, the bigger the laugh, and bigger the risk in banking on an audience to get the social or moral commentary.
I think that the cultural differences are vast.
Exactly.
And I think he's a delightful man, and it wouldn't take very much time for him to really become Americanized.
Kubrick demonstrated a severe degree of filmmaking prowess by making Dr. Strangelove a comedy. Clearly an anti-war filmmaker following the making of Spartacus and Paths of Glory, Strangelove propels the viewer into a world where the nuclear arms race gets out of hand as an insane general is incessant on launching a bomb. The original book, Red Alert, pertains to a drama. Kubrick, however, could not escape the ludicrously humorous nature of the book and embrace the dark humour. The film's effectiveness in communicating the political issues it deals with lies in the witty dialogue.
He went and did a silly thing. Well, I'll tell you what he did. He ordered his planes to attack your country. Well, let me finish, Dimitri.
Its mere possibility at the time. And of course, Peter Sellers' performance carrying the humour throughout.
Can I give you just one word of advice, Dimitri? Listen, Dimitri. Put everything you've got into those two sectors and you can't miss.
All of these case studies were far from controversy, however. In regards to the reception of Borat's sequel, Cohen states, if you're protesting against racism, you're going to upset some racists. That is the lengths which Cohen went to in order to create this discourse on ignorance in America. Greater lengths than a drama narrative would in production, as Borat features real-life situations. Dr. Strangelove even features a disclaimer at the beginning of the film, which the Pentagon insisted there be a disclaimer there. I feel the key aspects of dark comedies is situational dialogue which places the audience member right in the conversation with the characters. Through laughter, the viewer is welcomed in with open arms, then the darker aspects hit much harder because the audience member is vulnerable in these instances, like in Do the Right Thing. In terms of my own film practices, dark comedies have always resonated with me, and I intend to explore the genre further. In our latest narrative assignment, I wrote a short film called Spoiled Milk, a dark comedy which explores the monotony of student life, highlighting a student who has become obsessive over finding out who's been stealing his milk all year. I've always revelled in how cinema sparks a conversation after you leave the theatre, and I wish to be aware of our modern world by representing social change and diversity within my filmmaking. Our representation module aided my writing quality as I was more aware of representing minorities and making my characters multidimensional with reasoning. Theory work on a genre has heightened my understanding and respect for the foundations of film. By understanding the history of cinema, we are able to cradle and mould productions for future audiences. Thank you for listening.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.